here's Brody Brazil.
Here in 2025, there's more than a handful of Major League Baseball fan bases that are upset with their team's ownership. And so they've started the movement, they've said the chant, they've flown banners, they've made shirts to sell the team. What if I told you that it is now my new opinion that selling a Major League Baseball team might be super difficult, if not even impossible from here on out for the next, 12, 13, 14 months or so. There are a lot of things going on with the landscape of Major League Baseball and the business of baseball that really just don't promote any team and the sale of it actually going through. And I'll talk about the Rays in just a second. I know that's everybody's first thought. Well, wait, didn't the Rays just sell? Yes, they did. That was a little bit of a different situation. That process had been going on for many months, if not maybe even a full calendar year behind the scenes. I know they just sold. I'm saying from here on out, it might be likely to be very difficult, if not impossible, to sell any Major League Baseball team, to have any type of transaction take place. And I say all of this with the understanding that the San Diego Padres and the Seidler family just kind of put themselves out there and the team kind of up for sale. They're going to explore the possibility of this happening. But just within the last 24 hours alone, there's a new Sportico valuation of the San Diego Padres franchise. I said in a video, literally yesterday, the value of the team, because it was $1.95 billion. Well, guess what? The value overnight just went up to $2.31 billion. But no, these are new valuations across baseball. Nothing sinister here. This is just the timing of what was already bound to come out. So the new valuation went up, and I said, hey, $2 billion was maybe a steal for the San Diego Padres and where they are and their market and their ballpark and their fan base. Well, now it's gone up a little bit, and I imagine most teams have gone up, not down. I also realized that the Padres could be carrying as a business significant debt, and that is not conducive to the sale of a team. I know the Minnesota Twins were that way, but again, the Minnesota Twins were for sale for about a year, and then the Pohlad family took that team off the market. I also realized that similar to the Pohlad family, there's also some internal turmoil with the Seidler family, and Peter Seidler passed away 2 years ago. His brother now is kind of in charge, but his wife also has sued the other siblings for control over this situation. So there is a lot of back and forth. But again, they did put out this letter saying that they were exploring the possibility of selling the team in Peter's honor and trying to do this in a very respectful and professional way. But the family's not guaranteeing, and I'm not guaranteeing, that the Padres are for sale, that they will actually be sold, or even if they're seriously up for sale right now. Maybe they're just testing the waters. I'm telling you in this video, maybe it's impossible for any big league team to get sold right now. And a big part of it is also do you want to buy into this right now? Is it a good market to be buying a Major League Baseball team? Lev Akabis does great graphs and great visuals here using information from Sportico. Lev has the percentage of change of value of professional sports leagues and their teams since 2021. So in the 4, maybe 5 years, depending on when we started this, 4 to 5 years, NHL teams and their value have shot up 124%. NBA, 113%. The NFL, pretty darn respectable at 103%. MLS teams have gone up 31% in that time frame. But Major League Baseball, still of value, still, I guess, third here on the total value, but the percentage of value has only, and I say only, gone up 28%. I would love to get a 28% return on investments, but it doesn't always happen that way. But if you own a baseball team, you've got a 28% return since 2021. But you can see the other leagues are growing here. The other leagues are maybe doing the right things. They're more competitive. The teams have value for a certain reason. In the NHL, there's a hard salary cap and a hard salary floor. Basketball just got a new rights deal. Football has been king for a long time. So all of these leagues doing quite well. Baseball just isn't doing well. Maybe this is the right time to buy in, buy low, sell high, or maybe baseball is struggling and there won't be the market to buy teams. The Minnesota Twins had cold feet. They were for sale, they explored it, then they took it off the market. Artie Moreno with the Los Angeles Angels, and I feel like he's done this more than one time. Teams for sale, wait until it's not for sale anymore. And the Washington Nationals, same thing, advertised for sale until they weren't anymore. And so that leaves the most recent selling of teams up to Tampa Bay in 2025. They just went for approximately $1.7 billion. The Orioles sold in 2024 for $1.725. The Mets were the previous team before that, back in 2020 for $2.4 billion, and the Royals went for a cool $1 billion back in 2019. So sales don't happen all the time. I'm just here to say again, there are some things standing in the way of maybe buying a team. And that brings me to all the reasons why here. Number one, you've got a huge separation between the spenders and the non-spenders and the haves and the have-nots, and you've got a huge lack of competitive balance in your league, right? I mean, look at the Dodgers and their payroll, and I'm not saying that they did what they did. They didn't break any rules, but also look at the bottom spending teams. Look at the Pirates, look at the Athletics, look at the Rays, look at the White Sox, all the teams that don't spend. So you can point the finger at the Dodgers, but also point the finger at the teams that are doing the opposite of that very same problem. If you want to call it a problem, there's two sides to that problem. But all of that causes a lack of competitive balance. There's also unknown spending expectations after 2026 because the CBA expires, the collective bargaining agreement between the Players Association and Major League Baseball. It's done December 2nd, I want to say, 2026. After that, is there going to be a hard salary cap? Is there not going to be? Is there going to be a lockout? Do you need to prepare your business if you're just buying a Major League Baseball team? Imagine buying it right now, like at this moment, playing one season and then missing an entire season of 2027. You know how much that's going to cost teams? Hundreds of millions of dollars each to pay everybody, but to not get any income and to suffer the income and results. And I get it. It's not the end of the world necessarily for these owners, but it certainly does put a big dent into the profits they were expecting to make. So would you want to jump into that if you had the option not to right now? Local media deals for broadcast are being restructured or reduced or expiring. And that's across the board. A lot of the regional sports networks that televise baseball games all summer long, they're cutting down what they pay to teams as a fee. And so teams are making $10, $20, $50 million less per season than they used to. Again, is this the right time for you, potential buyer of a baseball team, to make this investment? And oh yeah, the lockout looming in 2027. All these things add up to me saying and wondering, why would anybody buy a Major League Baseball team right now? Unless they know something I don't, unless they really want to try and buy when you think it's low, like maybe the values are only bound to go up. And so it's kind of like a fixer-upper type situation. But again, if you're looking at it and the direction of things and what lies ahead versus what you don't know that lies ahead, there's a lot of uncertainty. And that makes me think that selling a Major League Baseball team, the Padres included, might be more difficult than you think right now. Let me know what you think about that in the comments section below. Also, thumbs up on this video. That helps me, the video, and the channel. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I would love to see you back here next time.